All right. Welcome back, dreamers. I'm your host, Troy Ryan, and this is Dream Journal, my journey into sharing, interpreting, and understanding not only my dreams, but the dreams of others. What are dreams to you? For me, one thing that I believe dreams are intuitive messages. I've come to sorry. I've come to learn to pay close attention to them. Every single element matters, you know? Um, and I think it becomes deepened or the intuitive message becomes, how do I put it, more, it just feels more important when the dream recurs, right? Like, have you ever had a recurring dream? One of those dreams that repeats itself and you know it means something. You're catching all these elements and the dream keeps repeating, but you're not like sure exactly what it means. Well, let me help. um, Today, I want to talk all about recurring dreams. I've had several, and I've learned through studying symbolism and acknowledging the things that stood out, I can find the message that my intuition is trying to get across to me, you know? And I don't claim to, because I don't want to make it sound like I'm just the premier fucking dream psychic or something. Like, this is just something that I've really genuinely done a lot of work on. It's something I really care about. And I have a respect for. Um, I'll start the episode off with a quote, and that quote is: "The odd thing about recurring dreams is that no matter how many times you dream the same thing, it always takes you by surprise." David Small. And ain't that the fucking truth? Okay. So if you know me, I have another podcast called Man of Horror, and it's all about scary movies. I love fucking scary movies. I love horror. I always have since I was a child, you know? Um, and and I won't read the entry itself because it doesn't even matter at this point. Like I the dream is so vivid. I don't need to be like re brought back there. Um, and side note, yes, I did have a shot or two before I recorded this. So yes. But yeah, so the dream that I had was I would always come to in this house. And it didn't I didn't know this house in the sense that I've seen it before, but I knew this house in the sense that it felt familiar. I knew it in the dream to be my grandma's house, but I don't know which grandmother because I have multiple, and the house almost seemed like an amalgamation of different grandmother homes. Like between my grandma's and my great grandma's, like it was like this house that was like structured with different bits and pieces of their different houses. It was weird, but again, in the dream, I just knew it to be my grandma's house. I come to Sometimes I come to downstairs in the living room. Sometimes I come to in the bathroom, which I feel like I came to the most often. Um, and then I come to in the bedroom in the attic. And whenever I come to, it starts off normal. Whoever is there always changes, but essentially, I'm there with friends and family. It's like a fucking scary movie. And first, it starts off with Michael Myers. I want to say it was, and he's always in the windows, like, and he's like trying to get in and stuff like that. And it goes from that to him getting in and chasing me and whoever else is around the house and us running, hiding, only to encounter more horror villains. Jason, Freddy Krueger, shit like that. And I didn't exactly die, but I always fucking died in the dream. I had the dream so many times, and this is when I first discovered my ability to be lucid, right? So the first couple of times, and it was like, so the way that the death would work is that they got me. It was like, oh, that's it, and I didn't feel, the stab or whatever. and I didn't necessarily see it. It was just in this moment of encountering them after running, knowing that they killed me, and coming to or waking up, and it repeated. So again, this is around the time when I really started to explore my lucid abilities, and it got to a point where I had this dream so much that I would come to, and then I would look around like, "Fuck, I'm back. Here I go again." And I started to make different decisions. I would try to do shit differently in the dream. Like, okay, last time I went left, maybe I'll go right this time. Last time I went to the attic, maybe this time I'll go to the basement. Last time I went out the front door, maybe this time I'll go out the back. I was consciously, lucidly making decisions, and I kept ending up in the same place, still being caught, still being killed, and running. And I remember the last time I had the dream, and I promise, like I had, and it's almost like if you've ever seen one of those time capsule type movies, Groundhog Day and Naked, and just stuff like that. It felt like that because I had the dream so many times, sometimes more than once in a night. And then, it would go away for a few days, a week or two. It even went away once for as long as a month. And I look up and I'm back. I'm like, oh, fuck, here it goes. Um, and yeah, so the last time I had it, I remember I ran into the street, and it ended up being like this empty street, and there was like it was a building. I really don't know what the building was. It feels like the building was a store, but I'm not really sure. And I was hiding behind it. And I was with someone, one of the people I was with, and I think this was like we were like the last two. It was like on some final boy shit. And yo, like, I don't know. I just got like this fucking feeling, and like this thought came to me, like, I keep running. I'm running every time, and nothing happens, nothing changes. I keep getting killed. Fuck it. I mean, if I'm gonna die, let me just walk up to him, and that's exactly what I did. Yeah, and I got the urge to just kind of go up to them and remove their mask. Obviously, I only removed one of them, and it kind of solved everything. And I don't remember who was behind the mask. I couldn't tell you. I just remember that solved it. Like, I don't know. And that's the thing with dreams and intuition. It's a feeling. You're not supposed to be able to explain it, I don't think. It's like faith. There's only so much that you can explain to where at some point it is just like, all right, well, the rest just got to be felt. It just has to be understood. And that's what dreams are, I think. Um, so I think for me at the time in my life, like, I think the dream was just trying to tell me as an intuitive message that I had to stop running for myself. That sounds so like cliche, and that's another thing I'm learning too as I get older and more wise, I guess. um Cliches are cliches for a reason. And this dream, the message was very cliche. Again, I didn't need, and I know when I removed the mask, it's not like I saw myself. It's just I think the biggest thing, and maybe not might not have even been because this was a couple years ago, so I don't fully remember what was happening in my life at the time. But it might not have exactly been like running for myself. It could have been running from problems, running from things that scare me. And no matter what, you have to confront your problems. It's life. Like, there's nothing, and so it was just like I understood it as acknowledging what I'm afraid of head on. And from that moment, and I took the idea of starting off at my grandma's house, right? Like, I took that idea or that thought as naivety or safety. Like you have that safety, that security. That's like grandma. That's two generations. Like I'm covered. Like nobody makes you feel like there's your mom, but there's like a different covering from a grandmother. Especially when you're a kid. So it just feels like double protection. So it's like I think my brain manifested that as a message, like, okay, so this is where you were in this safety and this security, and now these problems right outside the door, these problems are coming to you, and you're running from them, you're hiding from them, and no matter what, they keep fucking getting your ass, they keep stabbing your ass, like they're gonna get you. You have to face them. And again, once I did that, I never had that dream again. And I promise y'all, I had that dream so fucking many times. So to know, um, again, the symbolism, to pay attention to the things that really stood out, the things that seems different at first are like, huh? All just comes together in the simplest message sometimes. What dream is recurring for you? All right. So, before I leave you guys today, I want to go ahead and uh, just share a little more insight on lucid dreaming, right? Like techniques and, just different things to look up in regards to it. Um, First, I want to say one of my favorite techniques is the reality check technique. And essentially, it involves two things, right? One is throughout the day, ask yourself, am I dreaming? Is this a dream? The consistency of doing that stays in your mind, right? And before you know it, you're in your dream asking, wait, is this a dream? And of course, that's the introductory step to lucid dreaming. Um, and then the other part of and the other part of the reality checks is, and it ties more into another trick that I'll share in a different episode, but um still with reality checks, it's just essentially doing things like poking your hand in the middle of your finger. The simplicity of that in the waking world is that obviously your finger isn't going to go through your hand, right? Um, nothing weird is going to happen. Like, what's going to happen, but in a dream, you don't. And again, it's repetitive. It's something that you have to repeat so that upon repeating it, it becomes a natural behavior in your dreams. And these are like steps and things that you can do to access that lucid part of yourself. Um, Now I don't want to say it as if it's easy because again, it takes practice and it comes to some people easier than others, but it's not completely impossible. Shout out to Stephen LeBurge. If you do really want to look into lucid dreaming a little bit more, he has a few books. Um, Specifically, I want to mention lucid dreaming and exploring the world of lucid dreaming. Very insightful in regards to, again, lucid dreaming. Take a shot every time I say it. But it's, again, these tools are some of his own techniques, that allowed him to access this. It's, I don't want to say required because, again, it's not something that comes easy to some people, and and not everybody, I guess should have to. But I feel like it has the potential to help everybody. It's just again unlocking another connection with yourself, another layer of yourself, and going more in tune with yourself. So I don't know if again, if you feel like it's something that you're interested in, I'm here to help because I'm going back on my own journey, and it's kind of like I'm starting over. So we can relearn the lucid dream together. All right, all right. I appreciate you guys so much for listening. I appreciate y'all for going on yet another journey with me. Follow the official Instagram page for the pod, Dream Journal _podcast. And don't forget to check out the poetry book, The Boy Who Lucid Dreamed, available on Amazon and Kindle. And until next time, keep dreaming, folks. Peace.